Hey guys, Buck here with Pro-Flex, and today we're going to be doing a little simple walkthrough and training of the Pro-Flex CSST and the fitting system. Now, Pro-Flex has been around for a little over 20 years, about 21 years now, providing gas products to installers in the field. And in 2014 was acquired by the ownership of Sioux Chief Manufacturing, at which point in time we expanded the product line to really become your one-stop shop for all your rough-in gas needs, from the meter to the appliance. Now, many of you may have a varying range or familiarity of CSST, both in the field and on the shelf. Oftentimes the familiarity is with what is often called a traditional or metal-to-metal flared fitting system. Now, unfortunately, there are some flaws to those systems that really give guys a lot of headaches in the field. For those of you that are not familiar with them, two things that really give guys some pain is the requirement for a really clean, perfect cut of this CSST tubing. The other piece is, and this being a competitor fitting, the two-piece split rings can be cumbersome in the field. Oftentimes you are on your back in a crawl space in an attic. You're just generally not in a very comfortable spot or convenient spot for putting some of these together. Pro-Flex has completely wiped this stuff out. We are the only fitting system on the market that has a patented dual seal fitting that completely eliminates the need for a good clean cut of this CSST. Now, before we demonstrate that, let's jump into the components of the fitting. So with each fitting, you'll get three pieces: your split or retainer ring, your slide ring or washer, and your silicone O-ring. That silicone is specifically designed for LP and gas. Let's jump into here and see how this fitting goes together. Now, in the field, guys, I would ask you to pick up a piece, a fall piece off the ground, maybe something that's just a real junk cut, maybe ovaled out a bit, maybe something you'd have to either doctor up or one that may not even be able to be doctored enough to get a good seal on it. This is kind of a good example of that. I think you can see that's just a junk cut we could all agree would never seal up with a traditional metal-to-metal flare fitting. And let's throw this together with a Pro-Flex fitting and show you just how easy it is to get a leak-free seal. So all we need with the Pro-Flex system is to cut this back to expose 4 valleys. We're then going to take our retainer or split ring, simply expands open, drop that down, seat it in the 4th valley. We're going to follow that up with our slide or washer. And then we're going to roll this metal over. And guys have been rolling that over with their thumbs like that for years in the field. We do provide what we call an O-ring loader. You can slide that over there, maybe just shields that from getting nicked up on that sharp edge. Now, what I've done here really is two things. I can pre-assemble this wherever I'm comfortable. This is not going to fall apart. I'm not losing any of my components. I'm not dealing with two-piece split rings at the site. I can pre-assemble this at the van or the truck. Once I've cut my CSST, I can now pull this through a crawl space. I can throw it over some rafters. Whatever I need to do, it's very easy and convenient. We actually have some shops now that do a lot of similar lengths in new construction, that they're actually prefabbing these in the shop before they send their guys out in the field, just really saving them some time. Now, as you can see, what we've done is not only are we making things convenient on ourselves from that two-piece split ring, but we're actually taking this cut completely out. We're sealing back here on that O-ring about 1 inch behind that cut. And we are primarily a hand-tight system. In the field, we would say another 1/4 to a 1/2 turn with a wrench. But for this demo purpose, we'll throw this on here. We're going to pump this up and show you hand-tight junk cut. We're sitting at about 18 PSI. Now, guys, that is something you could never get away with any competitor's fitting. Now, guys, this is just an ultra forgiving fitting system. We really cannot stress that enough. You are no longer going to find yourself dealing with leaks due to bad cuts. You are no longer going to find yourself returning to a job site with leaky systems because some other trade has been in there and has bumped your system prior to getting cleared for final pressure test. You know, guys, if this is something that intrigues you, we're We're going to put some information on the screen. We encourage you to reach out to us. We'll include it in the description of the video as well. If you'd like to get your hands on some of this, reach out. Let's get it to you. We are convinced that once you guys use this in the field, you will love it. Again, we are your one-stop shop for all your roughing gas needs, from a full line of underground products, right? Your traditional risers, underground poly, transition poly fittings. We even have your traditional accessory or appliance connectors, stub outs, recessed gas aux boxes. We even have a full line of hearth products, right? LP log ladder bars, natural gas log ladder bars, keys and flanges, and a plethora of different finishes. You know, guys, this is just really scratching the surface of what Pro-Flex has to offer. Again, if you do have some interest, please reach out to us. Let's get you some to try in the field.